You wake up. It is 4:45 a.m. Your eyes open instantly. There is no grogginess. There is only the checklist. The room is dark. The air is cold. You do not roll over. Rolling over costs 4 minutes. You do not have 4 minutes to lose. Your heart hits your ribs. It does not slam. It thumps with a steady mechanical rhythm. This is your engine. It runs on premium terror. Congratulations. You are a high performer. You are the reliable one. You are the person who never lets anyone down. Everyone says so. Your boss says it in performance reviews. Your friends say it when they need a favor. Your family says it at holiday dinners. They see a machine that produces results. They do not see the fuel line. You stand up. Your feet hit the hardwood floor. You check your phone immediately. There are 0 notifications. This does not make you feel safe. It makes you feel suspicious. What did you miss? Who is mad at you? What crisis developed while you slept for 5 hours? You open your email anyway. You refresh the screen twice. Nothing. You check the sent folder. You reread the last 3 emails you sent last night. You check the tone. Did you sound too blunt? Did you use enough exclamation points to seem pleasant? Did you use too many? You close the app. Your jaw is already tight. You do not notice it. It is just your face now. You walk to the bathroom. You look in the mirror. You do not look sick. You look clean. You look sharp. That is the design. High-functioning anxiety does not look like a panic attack on a bathroom floor. It looks like a pristine spreadsheet. It looks like an organized desk. It looks like a promotion. You grab the toothbrush. You brush your teeth with aggressive efficiency. You track the time in your head. 2 minutes exactly. You spit. You rinse. You wipe the counter. You wipe it until the porcelain shines. Any stray drop of water is a sign of chaos. You cannot allow chaos. Chaos is the enemy. You enter the kitchen. The coffee maker is already set. It turns on automatically at 5 a.m. You programmed it yesterday. You program everything yesterday. You open your laptop while the coffee brews. This is your first victory of the day. You are working before anyone else is awake. You are ahead of the curve. You are winning. Then the weight lands. It hits the center of your chest. It is a familiar pressure. It feels like a 20-pound sandbag sitting on your sternum. It tells you that today is the day they find out. They will find out you are faking it. They will find out you do not know what you are doing. You have 3 degrees. You have 5 certifications. You have a track record of perfect execution. It does not matter. The sandbag remains. You sit down. You open your master task list. There are 43 line items. Every item has a color-coded priority tag. Red is urgent. Orange is secondary. Blue is routine. You stare at the red tags. Your stomach drops. You want to close the laptop. You want to walk back to bed. You want to hide under the blanket for a month. Instead, you open the first file. You begin to type. You handle the crisis. You control the narrative. You disappear into the work. You do not look at the clock again until it reads 6:12 a.m. The daylight is just beginning to crack through the kitchen blinds, cutting gray lines across your table. You have already written 3 status updates, cleared 14 internal messages, and reorganized the shared project folder. This is your cushion. Every task completed before the official start of the workday is a shield you build between yourself and criticism. You need that shield to be thick. You need it to be impenetrable. You review your calendar for the 3rd time today. It looks like a Tetris board. Every block of time is jammed against the next one. No white space. White space is dangerous. White space means you have time to think, and when you have time to think, the system starts to destabilize. You schedule your breaks, though you never actually take them. You just use the calendar blocks to hide from non-essential requests. Your phone chirps. It is a calendar alert. Time to leave. You do not run. You do not hurry. Hurrying looks disorganized. You pack your laptop into its leather sleeve with slow, calculated precision. Zip the side pocket. Check for the backup charger. Check for the wireless mouse. Check for the notebook. You close the bag. You adjust the strap so it sits at exactly the same angle across your shoulder every single day. Consistency is the only tool you have to quiet the noise in your head. You step into the hallway. The elevator takes 22 seconds to arrive. You know this because you have timed it on multiple mornings. If it takes 30 seconds, you adjust your pace down the street. If it takes 15, you walk slower to avoid arriving at the train platform before the doors open. Everything must match the grid. You step inside the elevator cab. The mirror on the side reflects a person who looks completely in charge. Your coat is lint-free. Your hair is smooth. Your expression is neutral, bordering on pleasant. This is the product you sell to the world. You sell stability. You sell absolute certainty. The price of that certainty is a quiet, continuous burning behind your eyes, but nobody else has to know the cost of production. It is 8:30 a.m. You are at your desk. You arrived 15 minutes early. Arriving early is your insurance policy against bad luck. If you are early, you can control the room. You can choose your seat. You can prepare your notes. If you are on time, you are late. If you are late, you are dead. Your coworker walks in. Her name is Millie. She looks tired. She holds a messy paper cup of coffee. She drops her bag on her chair. "Good morning," Millie says. She smiles. It is a casual smile. "Good morning," you say. Your voice is steady. You smile back. It is a calibrated smile. You show exactly 6 teeth. You hold it for 3 seconds. You drop it smoothly. This is the masking reflex. It is an automatic defense system. It shields the internal panic from the public eye. "You look bright and early as usual," she says. "Did you get that report done?" "It is in your inbox," you say. "I sent it at 5:15. "You are a lifesaver," she says. She walks away. There is your reward. You get the praise. You get the status. You are the lifesaver. You feel a momentary surge of validation. It lasts for exactly 4 seconds. Then the cost hits. Your mind begins to spin the report. Did you check Table 4? Did you verify the source data from the finance team? What if the formula in cell G12 was broken? You open the document again. You have already reviewed it 4 times. You review it a 5th time. You scroll through the pages. Your eyes track the numbers. Everything is correct. The formula is fine. The formatting is clean. You close it. 2 minutes later, you want to open it again. The urge is physical. Your hand twitches toward the mouse. You force your hand into your lap. You hold your left wrist with your right hand. You squeeze until it hurts. The physical pain breaks the cognitive loop. This is a standard operating procedure. The phone rings. The caller ID says it is your manager. Your heart rate jumps from 72 beats per minute to 110 in 1 second. Your brain predicts 5 different worst-case scenarios. Scenario 1, the client canceled the contract. Scenario 2, you are being laid off. Scenario 3, you made a massive error in the tax filings. You pick up on the second ring. You never pick up on the first ring. Picking up on the first ring looks desperate. Picking up on the third ring looks lazy. The second ring is professional. "This is you," you say. "Hey," your manager says. "Do you have 5 minutes to sync on the Q3 strategy?" "Of course," you say. "I will come to your office now." "Great. See you there." The line goes dead. You stay frozen for 3 seconds. You breathe in for 4 seconds. You hold it for 4 seconds. You breathe out for 4 seconds. This is box breathing. A therapist told you to do it. It does not stop the anxiety. It just stops the hyperventilation. It keeps your voice from shaking. You grab your notebook. You grab 2 pens. 1 pen might run out of ink. If a pen runs out of ink in a meeting, you look unprepared. If you look unprepared, you lose authority. You walk down the hall. You walk with purpose. You look like a person with a plan. You do not look like a person who wants to run out the fire exit. You enter the office. Your manager is looking at his computer. He does not look up immediately. This is a threat signal. Your brain processes it instantly. He is angry. He is distant. He is formulating a reprimand. "Sit down," he says, still looking at the screen. You sit. You keep your back straight. You do not cross your legs. Crossing your legs can make you look defensive. You place your notebook on the desk. You click your pen once. He turns to you. "The executive team loved your presentation yesterday. They want you to lead the new regional expansion project." The reward lands. It is a massive win. It is a career-defining assignment. You should feel proud. You should feel excited. "Thank you," you say. "I am glad they liked it. I will start on the implementation plan today." "I knew I could count on you," he says. You never miss. You leave the office. You walk back to your desk. The validation is gone before you reach your chair. The regional expansion project is a monster. It involves 12 different teams. It has a budget of $4 million. It has 1,000 moving parts. Every moving part is a point of failure. Every point of failure is your responsibility. The project is not an opportunity. It is a trap. If you succeed, they will give you a bigger project. If you fail, you destroy your reputation. You sit down. The sandbag on your chest gets heavier. It feels like 40 pounds now. You adjust the brightness on your monitor. Your left index finger begins to tap against the side of your keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to anchor yourself. The volume of work ahead is an avalanche, and you are standing at the bottom of the mountain with a plastic shovel. You open a brand new document. You label it Regional Expansion, Phase 1 Logistics. You change the font to your preferred corporate style. You adjust the margins. You fix the heading structures before you even write a single real sentence. This is how you build the illusion of progress when your brain is screaming for a ceiling to collapse and save you from the deadline. Millie walks past your desk again, carrying a stack of colored folders. She glances at your monitor.
Wow, you're already starting on the expansion. Didn't he just tell you about it 10 minutes ago?
Better to get ahead of it, you say. The voice comes out smooth, matching the tone you used during your morning emails. The timeline is aggressive.
You make the rest of us look bad,
She jokes, continuing down the corridor. You don't laugh. You don't even smile the six-tooth smile this time. Her joke isn't funny to you. It sounds like an observation of your isolation. You are making people look bad because you are working at an unsustainable pace, but if you drop the pace, the entire structure cracks. You are locked into the standard you set. Every success reinforces the expectation. If you deliver a miracle today, a miracle becomes the basic requirement for tomorrow. You pull up the budget forecast spreadsheet from last quarter. You need a reference point. Your eyes scan the rows of numbers, checking the formulas in the summary tab. You find a minor discrepancy in an inactive cell, a rounding error that affects the total by exactly 42 cents. It has no impact on the business. It has no impact on the project. Nobody will ever look at this specific tab again. You spend 25 minutes fixing it. You rewrite the underlying code for the macro to ensure the error never repeats. Your hands are steady as you click through the Visual Basic interface. This is what high functioning looks like. It looks like an expert solving an intricate problem with high technical skill. In reality, it is a desperate attempt to control something, anything, because the actual project feels completely unmanageable. You are cleaning the windows of a house that is currently on fire. It is 1:15 p.m. You are eating lunch at your desk. You do not leave your desk for lunch. Leaving your desk means you are not working. If you are not working, you are falling behind. You eat a salad out of a plastic container. You chew mechanically. You do not taste the dressing. You do not taste the greens. You are reading a project brief while you chew. Your phone buzzes on the desk. It is a text message from a friend. Hey, are we still on for dinner tonight at 7? You freeze. You look at the text. You look at your task list. The regional expansion project requires an initial outline by tomorrow morning. You need at least 4 hours of uninterrupted focus to build it. If you go to dinner, you lose 2 hours. If you lose 2 hours, you have to work until midnight. If you work until midnight, you sleep for 4 hours instead of 5. You want to say no. You want to cancel. But if you cancel, they will think you are a bad friend. They will stop inviting you. They will realize you are unstable. They will talk about you behind your back. They will say you cannot balance your life. You type a response. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. You hit send. You immediately regret it. Now you have a hard deadline. You have to leave the office by 6:30 p.m. to make it to the restaurant by 7 p.m. This means your work speed must increase by 25%. You start a timer on your desktop. 45 minutes of deep work. No distractions. This is cognitive offloading. You break your life into microsprints to keep the panic from pooling. If you look at the whole day, you drown. If you look at the next 45 minutes, you survive. You open the spreadsheet. You begin to map the stakeholders. You drop names into columns. You assign roles. You use the jargon. RACI matrix. Milestone tracking. Critical path analysis. The words look professional. They look authoritative. They sound like you have a methodology. The truth is, your methodology is just hypervigilance. You are trying to predict every mistake a human being could make on this project, and you are trying to build a digital fence around it. A coworker walks by your cubicle. He stops. He leans against the partition. His name is Tom. He likes to chat. Chatting is your worst nightmare. Chatting destroys the schedule. Did you see the game last night? Tom asks. You look up. You smile the six-tooth smile. I caught the highlights. Incredible finish. You did not see the game. You do not know who played. You looked at the sports headlines for 3 minutes this morning, so you would have data for this exact interaction. Data is protection. Yeah, that three-pointer at the buzzer was wild, Tom says. He stays leaning. He shows no signs of leaving. Your eyes dart to the desktop timer. 38 minutes remaining. The sandbag on your chest tightens. Your left leg begins to bounce under the desk. It bounces fast, like a sewing machine needle. Tom cannot see it. The desk hides the motion. Above the wood, you are calm. Below the wood, you are vibrating. Hey, I'd love to get your thoughts on the new vendor software sometime, Tom says. Send me an invite, you say. Your voice is pleasant. I have a tight deadline this afternoon, but I can do Thursday at 10 a.m. Perfect. See you then. Tom walks away. You do not breathe until he clears the row. You look at the timer. You lost 3 minutes. You must work faster. Your fingers fly across the keys. You do not look at your phone. You do not look at the news. You do not look up when people walk past. You become a processing unit. By 6:15 p.m., the outline is done. It is not just an outline. It is a 12-page document with appendices. It is complete. It is bulletproof. You save it. You export it to PDF. You draft the email to your manager. You schedule the email to go out at 6:45 a.m. tomorrow. Why? Because sending it now means you finished it during normal hours. Sending it at 6:45 a.m. means you worked on it through the night. It signals absolute dedication. It maintains the illusion of the machine. You pack your bag. You check your desk. Pens in the drawer. Notebook aligned with the edge of the monitor. Screen locked. You stand up. Your joints crack. Your shoulders are hard as stone. You have been holding them up toward your ears for 9 hours. You drop them. They hurt. You walk to the elevator. You pass the glass doors of the lobby. You look at your reflection. You look successful. You look like the person people want to be. You step into the street. The air is cold. The city is noisy. You turn toward the restaurant. The wind hits your face as you exit the building lobby. It is sharp, carrying the scent of asphalt and exhaust. You check your watch. 6:34 p.m. You are 4 minutes behind the target schedule. Your heart rate registers the delay instantly, increasing its pace to compensate for the lost time. You walk down the concrete sidewalk with long, measured strides. You do not run. Running implies panic, and you must never look panicked, but you move faster than everyone else around you. You weave through groups of slow-moving tourists and commuters who are looking at their screens. You are the only one who is looking ahead, plotting the clean line through the crowd. You descend the stairs to the subway station. The heat down here is thick, heavy with the smell of old grease and damp dust. A train is pulling into the station. You can hear the squeal of the brakes against the rails. You accelerate. Your boots click against the tile floor. You step through the closing rubber doors just before they seal shut. You stand in the center of the crowded car, holding the metal pole with a gloved hand. The car sways violently as it enters the tunnel. You do not look at the other passengers. You look at the black glass of the window opposite you, watching your own reflection flicker against the dark tunnels. You are reviewing the agenda for the dinner in your head. Who will be there? Mark, Maya, and David. David has been trying to get a new position at an agency. You need to remember to ask him about his second-round interview. Mark's dog was sick last week. You need to ask about the vet bills. You catalog these social obligations like deliverables. If you forget, you are failing the relationship protocol. You keep the data organized in neat mental files, ready to pull them out when the conversation requires a contribution. The train stops at your station. You exit the car and climb the stairs back into the cold air. The restaurant is 2 blocks away. You arrive at the door at exactly 6:58 p.m. 2 minutes remaining. You take a long breath, hold it, let it go. You reach for the heavy brass door handle. You put on the face. The restaurant is loud. It smells of garlic and burnt butter. There are 4 people at the table. Your friends. They are laughing. They are drinking wine. They look relaxed. They look like they belong in their bodies. You sit down. You apologize for being 3 minutes late. Don't worry about it, your friend Mark says. We just ordered a bottle. How's the new job? It is busy, you say. Just got handed a major regional expansion project today. Wow, your friend Maya says.
Wow, you are killing it. Seriously, every time I see you, you're getting promoted. I don't know how you do it all.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot.
There it is again. The reward beat. The applause. They admire you. They think you have a secret formula for success. They want your drive. They want your discipline.
I just try to stay organized.
You say. You take a sip of water. You do not order wine. Wine relaxes the defense system. If you relax the defense system, you might say something real. You might tell them that you haven't slept a full night in 3 years. You might tell them that you check your pulse every hour to make sure you aren't having a heart attack. You might tell them that you feel like an actor playing a character named after you. So you stay sober. You play the role. You ask them about their lives. You listen with intense focus. You track the conversation like a project manager. When Mark talks about his breakup, you nod at regular intervals. You validate his feelings. You drop the right phrases. When Maya talks about her vacation, you remember the name of the hotel she mentioned 6 months ago. You have the best memory, Maya says. It is not memory. It is data retention driven by fear. If you forget a detail, it means you don't care. If you don't care, you are a bad friend. If you are a bad friend, you are alone. The food arrives. You eat slowly. You track the time. 8:15 p.m., 8:45 p.m., 9:15 p.m. The conversation starts to wind down. The check arrives. You grab it first. You calculate the split in your head before anyone can open their calculator app. You Venmo the exact amounts. You handle the logistics. You control the exit. We should do this more often, Mark says as you walk outside. Definitely, you say. Let's look at calendars next week. You say goodbye. You walk toward the subway. The moment you turn the corner, the smile drops. Your face goes flat. The exhaustion hits you like a physical blow to the stomach. Your knees feel weak. The performance is over for the night. The stage lights are off. You get home at 10 p.m. The apartment is quiet. It is clean. You take off your shoes. You place them in the closet. You align them perfectly side by side. You walk into the living room. You look at your laptop bag. It sits on the chair. It looks like a bomb. It contains the regional expansion project. It contains the 47 unread emails that accumulated while you were at dinner. It contains the expectations of the executive team. You tell yourself you can rest now. The outline is finished. The dinner was a success. You maintained your relationships. You protected your reputation. You won the day. This is the false peak. You sit on the couch. You do not turn on the television. You just sit in the dark. Then the silence starts to hum. The background noise returns. The sandbag on your chest settles back down. The anxiety doesn't leave when the work stops. It just changes its target. Your brain looks for a problem. It scans your life like a radar dish looking for an incoming missile. If there are no work problems, it looks for personal problems. If there are no personal problems, it creates existential problems. Did Mark look annoyed when you split the check? Did Maya think you were bragging about the promotion? Why didn't your mom call you back yesterday? Is your bank account safe from inflation? What if your apartment building has a gas leak right now? The loop starts again. The speed increases. Your heart rate moves back up. You can't sit still. You stand up. You walk to the kitchen. You open the fridge. You aren't hungry. You close it. You walk to the window. You look at the street. You look at the digital clock on the stove. 10:45 p.m. The victory was an illusion. The success didn't cure the panic. It just raised the stakes for tomorrow. You lean your forehead against the cold pane of the kitchen window. The glass chills your skin, but it doesn't quiet the rhythm in your chest. Below you, the city lights flicker like a faulty motherboard. Headlights move down the avenue in silent, rhythmic streaks of yellow and red. Everyone down there seems to have a destination, a purpose, a home they can return to and leave the day behind. You don't have that. Your home is just another location where the checklist follows you. You walk back into the bathroom. You open the medicine cabinet. You look at the rows of bottles, perfectly arranged by height and label orientation. Vitamins, supplements, over-the-counter sleep aids, prescriptions you rarely take because you are terrified of how they might affect your mental clarity. You cannot afford to be sluggish. You cannot afford to lose your edge. Your edge is the only thing keeping you from sliding off the side of your life. You pick up a bottle of magnesium. You drop 2 pills into your hand. You swallow them with water from a clean glass. You wash the glass immediately. You dry it. You put it back in the cupboard, upside down, matching the others. Every movement is a minor exercise in control. If you keep the environment perfect, maybe your brain will believe the lie that everything is okay. You check your phone one last time before entering the bedroom. A new email from a client in a different time zone has arrived. Just reviewing the draft agenda for next month. Can we add a line item for the risk assessment review? Your brain processes the message instantly. You don't reply. It is 11:12 p.m., and replying now would show a lack of professional boundaries, which is a structural weakness. Instead, you open your Notes app and type, "Add risk assessment to Agenda tab 3. You close the phone. You set it face down on the nightstand. The screen glows briefly against the dark wood before dying out. The information is stored, but the tension from the notification remains in your neck muscles, drawing your shoulders tight again. It is 2:30 a.m. You are lying in bed. The sheets are tangled around your legs. The room is dark, but your brain is illuminated like a stadium at night. You are performing somatic tracking. You are listening to your own body. You feel the pulse in your throat. You feel the tightness in your diaphragm. You try to force your muscles to relax. You start at your toes. Release. You move to your calves. Release. You move to your jaw. You realize your teeth have been pressed together for the last 2 hours. You open your mouth. Within 60 seconds, your jaw clamps shut again. The machine refuses to power down. You turn your head to look at the clock. 2:31 a.m. If you fall asleep right now, you get 2 hours and 14 minutes of rest before the 4:45 a.m. alarm. You start doing the math. If you get 2 hours of sleep, your cognitive function drops by 35% tomorrow. If your cognitive function drops, you will make a mistake on the stakeholder matrix. If you make a mistake, the project slows down. The panic peaks. It is a cold, sharp feeling that starts in your stomach and moves up to your throat. You are trapped. You realize the fundamental truth of your life. Your success is not independent of your anxiety. Your success is caused by your anxiety. The terror is the driver. The fear of failure is the engine that makes you early, makes you precise, makes you reliable, and makes you excellent. If you drop the anxiety, you drop the performance. If you become calm, you become ordinary. You become the person who arrives on time instead of early. You become the person who leaves lunch at their desk. You become the person who makes mistakes. You do not want to be that person. You are terrified of that person. The position of power is the cage. You built it yourself. You decorated it with promotions, praise, and high ratings. You locked the door from the inside, and you threw the key out the window. The dark bedroom feels smaller now. The walls seem closer. The ceiling seems lower. You stare at the tiny green indicator light on the smoke detector above you. It flashes once every 8 seconds. You count the intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flash. It is the only predictable thing left in the room. You think about what would happen if you just didn't show up tomorrow. What if you left the laptop on the kitchen table, walked down to the train station, and bought a ticket to the furthest destination on the map? What if you disappeared? The thought doesn't give you relief. It gives you a new wave of nausea. If you disappear, the regional expansion project fails. If it fails, your manager looks bad. If your manager looks bad, the company suffers. If the company suffers, people lose their jobs. Your brain connects your silence to a global catastrophe within 4 seconds. You are responsible for the world. That is the ultimate delusion of the high performer. You believe the universe is held together by your attention to detail. You roll onto your left side. Your shoulder hurts from the tension. You tuck your hands between your knees to keep them from shaking. You close your eyes, but the darkness behind your lids isn't empty. It is filled with rows of cells, red priority tags, and the faces of people waiting for you to miss a step. They are waiting for the machine to break down. You open your eyes again. The light in the room hasn't changed, but the gray of the early morning is starting to bleed through the edges of the curtains. The clock says 4:12 a.m. You have 33 minutes left before the protocol starts over. You don't try to sleep anymore. Trying to sleep is an active process that requires effort, and you are too tired for that specific effort. You just lie there, feeling the cold air move through the room, listening to the first delivery trucks rumble down the street 3 floors below. You watch the digital numbers on the stove clock from the hallway view. 4:30 a.m., 4:40 a.m., 4:44 a.m. You wait for the final minute to expire. You want to beat the alarm. You want to turn it off before it makes a sound. If you turn it off before it rings, you win the first micro-confrontation of the day. The number changes. 4:45 a.m. Your thumb hits the screen before the first vibration can start. You wake up. It is 4:45 a.m. Your eyes open instantly. There is no grogginess. There is only the checklist. You stand up. Your feet hit the hardwood floor. You check your phone immediately. You open your email. You refresh the screen twice. You walk to the bathroom. You look in the mirror. You do not look sick. You look clean. You look sharp. You are ready for the day. You have high-functioning anxiety. You will never fail, and you will never rest.